Hello and welcome back. And in this short video, I'd like to cover the topic of what we call the prefix and the suffix. Now, most MT4 brokers do not use a prefix or suffix notation, but some do. And the reason it's important is because if you don't add it to the user inputs for your quantum trading indicators, then they simply will not work. And I'll explain which indicators have this option and which you don't need to worry about. So what is a prefix and what is a suffix? Basically, the typical notation, the most common notation that you'll find is as here. In other words, the currency GBP USD in uppercase, then a comma, and then the time frame immediately afterwards. That's pretty standard. Some brokers, on the other hand, however, will add characters or letters ahead of, or even currency symbols ahead of or immediately after the currency notation. Typically, for example, you might find on the chart the GBP USD, you might find a bracket and then a pound symbol and then another closed bracket and then a comma. You may even find a 2 or 3 character notation, something like PRO, for example, in lowercase. You may even find a full stop or a hyphen or something of that nature. If there is anything other than as shown here, then that's what we call a suffix. In other words, it comes at the end of the currency notation, and a prefix comes at the front. They are less common. The most common ones are the suffix, which come at the end of the currency notation itself and ahead of the comma. Now, if you have one of those from your broker, it's not a problem. All you need to do is to make sure that it's added in the user inputs for the quantum trading indicators to which this does apply. And those are the currency strength indicator, the currency matrix, and also the indices. That's where you will need to add it. It's all done in exactly the same way. So let's look at the currency strength indicator because we have that up already. If we right click on indicators list, here we are, the quantum CSI. We left click on that and we go into edit. That brings us to our inputs tab. If the inputs tab is not showing, if it's like this, for example, just click the inputs. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you will find the currency prefix and currency suffix option. To add whatever notation you have, all you do is go to the value field, double left click, and type or copy and paste exactly what is shown on your currency notation. It must be identical. If it's a prefix, it goes in here, and if it's a suffix, it goes in there. There are none on here, but if you have them, this is where they need to go. It's very easy to do. You just have to make sure they're identical. It may be just a simple full stop. It could be an exclamation mark. It could be a hyphen. And you also need to make sure that you add any spaces. So if there is a space ahead of or after the notation, then you need to add that as well. It has to be identical and match exactly. And when you're done, you just click OK and we close and we're done. So let's add the quantum DXY, the dollar index to the chart. We'll just click to make this the active window. We're now on the 15-minute. Let's go to Insert Indicators, go down to Custom, and we'll click on the quantum DXY. There we are. And you can see here under our inputs, once again, we have the currency prefix and suffix notation. So if you have it, it will need to go in there. We just click on that, and now we have our quantum DXY at the bottom there. If we wanted to add our currency matrix, exactly the same. Let's just open a new chart for that one. Let's go to the dollar CAD. Just bring that over in the middle there. Resize it a little bit. It's the active window. Let's insert the currency matrix indicators down to custom, and our quantum currency matrix. Here again, if we scroll down to the bottom, you can see we have the currency prefix and the suffix. Double left click to put the prefix in, double left click to put the suffix in. Once it's done, we just click OK, and there we go. And that's now applied the currency matrix to that particular window. We can resize that like that. There we are, nice and neat. And we can move that around wherever we want on the window. So that's the currency prefix and suffix. Very important, as I say, you won't find it on that many MT4 brokers, but if you have it on yours, you will need to apply it to the currency strength indicator, to the currency matrix, and also the indices as well. Otherwise, they simply will not work. So I hope you've enjoyed watching that video. It's very simple. Thanks for watching. See you again soon, and bye for now.